Because if you don't, then there's no progress that's going to be made. I'm going to do a few more sets of this. I already did do calves before I started because, you know, no one wants to see calves. It's just repetitive, monotonous calf raises, you know. No one wants to see 4 sets of that, so I done that beforehand. You know, so many people change their routines and stuff for the purpose of content, and I just don't see the point of that. You know, show how you really train, what you really do. There's no point of overcomplicating it just for the factor of views and content. You know, this is what I do, this is how I train. It takes me 45 minutes to train legs and 2 or 3 exercises. That is it. It's boring, it's simple, but it's effective and it works. And the most important thing is that it works for me. And what works for me might not work for you. But that's what the most important thing is finding the training style and the training that works for you, for your body. Come on. And again. Come on. A challenge gives you something to put your mind to and continue to keep that discipline in check, because more often than not, you have to push past motivation sometimes. Motivation just doesn't cut it. Sometimes it's not the driver that is required to get you to achieve your goals, because you can be motivated, unmotivated. What really pushes you towards your goals is discipline and consistency and self-denial. Self-denial is one of the biggest things. You know, it's the ability to deny yourself, to say, no, you've committed to this thing. You've said you was going to do it, no matter how you feel, regardless of your emotions, regardless of how your body feels, how your mind feels. You've committed to something, and you have to deny yourself plenty of times to get to where you want to go. So one more, and then we'll move on. Let's do it. Last one, come on. Come on. Come on, last one. That is where it's at. Every session, man, every session. Take it there, take it there, take it there. You know you have to, otherwise that voice, he'll let you know that you didn't. Let's move on to hamstrings. I'm just gonna cut straight to a top set. Let's do it. Oh man, that's it, man. That's where it's at. I've said it once and I'll say it again. Train the muscle, not the bar. I see so many people training the bar more than they're training the muscle, and it may seem stupid and obvious, but you know, even I do it myself. A lot of the times when you're training, you forget what the whole point is, and the whole point is targeting the muscle, you know, depending on what your goal is. But specifically for muscle growth and muscle maintenance, you have to be training the muscle. And if that requires you to drop the weight a little bit in order for you to target the muscle that you're actually trying to target, then you have to drop your ego and leave it at the door, man, because you're just self-sabotaging your training and you're not actually doing what you want to be doing. You know, it's so easy to forget our goals and forget what we're here to do, but we're quick to complain when we don't see any results. and a lot of the times it's forgetting about what you're actually here to do. And who cares, man, you know? You'll get people that comment this stupid negative stuff, like calling you weak and stuff like that, but they don't know your goals, they don't know what you set out to do, what you want to achieve, what you have planted in your mind. They don't know that stuff. If that requires you to drop your ego at the door and start lifting 50, 40% lighter than you usually would just to target the muscle and get an effective, proper session, then so be it, man, because you can't please everyone. And the main thing with training is that you please yourself. You have to do what is required to achieve your goals. Fuck everyone else, man. That's the only thing with training, is that you have to train selfishly. You can't train for other people. And if you do, it's just going to ruin you. It's going to ruin your passion, ruin your spirit. You end up trying to please everyone, which you all know is impossible in any realm, let alone training and weightlifting and bodybuilding. Train for yourself. Be selfish when it comes to training, because that is the only way you thrive, is if you work for your goals that you have set out to achieve. So just think about that, you know, when you go into your sessions. Think about what you're really training for, and are you actually training for yourself? Sometimes that question can make you double take and have a true internal thought about why you're training and what you're training for. That was a good set. I'm going to do 2 more here, and I think that will be it, because like I said, effective, efficient, boring, quick, easy. Well, easy? No, not easy. It's hard. Who wants to do this? No one wants to do it. But the things that no one wants to do are the things that where growth is, where the growth lies, where all these things that are worth having lie. I'm just going to jump straight into another set, 1 more after that, and that's it. That'll be it. So let's do it. Come on. Come on. One more. This space here, this is where this is trained more than anything, more than the muscles, more than the weights on the bar. It's this. This is what is trained the most down here, you know, my mind. You know, no one can steer me away from my style, the way that I do it, the way that I love it. That's all I do. I just love training. I love taking my mind to that place where for a split second I question myself. You know, and as soon as I know that I've questioned myself, I know that I've taken it where I should have, where I'm supposed to take it. Because if you don't get to a point in your training, regardless of what you do, whether it's weights, running, sports, for even that matter, if you don't get to a point in your training where you start to question yourself, that split second of opportunity for growth, you see it and you feel it in your body, in your mind. That split second of growth appears. And that split second is where you have to make that decision. Yes or no. Do I take the opportunity or do I give in? That is what training is all about in every single aspect, no matter what it is. That split second of when you question yourself to when you prove yourself, that is where growth happens. But that's besides the point. We've got 1 more set to do, so there's no point sitting around talking about all this other stuff. Let's do it. Last one. One more. That's it. That is where it's at. That is it, man. You know what that means? Session number 23 is complete. Another tally on the wall. Every day is just a tally. It's just another line on the wall, regardless of how you felt on that day. You know, how your body was feeling, whether you were tired, drained, fatigued, you wasn't in the right mental space. You know, as soon as you draw that line, you can't see what was involved in it. You have no idea. I have no idea how I was feeling on any of these days. I don't remember, but all I know is that there's a line on the wall, and that means that I showed up. It's just another thing for me to be accountable for, and to realise no matter what is going on in your day, it's just so stupid to miss a day, to skip a day. It is a blessing to be able to have the opportunity to put hard work into something, you know, regardless of how far it goes or whatever happens of it. You know, you should always be grateful to have something to put a lot of effort and hard work into that has the potential to succeed, because everything is just potential until it becomes success. You know, nothing is just success to start with. Everything has potential, and it is up to you to seek that potential, to turn the potential into success. And that is why I'm here. That is why I'm doing these videos. That is why I'm documenting my training and showing how I train. You know, just showcasing my thoughts, how I express my feelings and the things that I talk about. You know, that is it. So I am eternally grateful to have something like this to put hard work into, to truly give it my all, day in, day out, you know, editing, training, and all these other ins and outs of it that have the potential to succeed. I'm grateful to be able to work towards something like that. So, but that is it. Session number 23 is a wrap. It is tallied off, another line on the wall. So I'm going to leave that one here, and I will see you in the next one. That is it.